Creator energy is always available, though it takes our thought to cognize it. So easily distracted are we by our sensory field, overwhelming at times. But it's Friday. Perhaps it's called that because for all the energetic load of the week, people feel fried by Friday, the end of the week, popularly referred to as TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Let's turn it around and express gratitude that our week has brought us here to reflect on our progress and, perhaps, on what we can correct to give us greater peace of mind. With gratitude for what we have experienced, good or bad, gives us respite from judgment and the peace we are seeking by giving it over. For remembering that the week was given to us, we used it, most likely to the best of our ability. So, TGIF, thank you, God, above all you ado, above all the ado for us here, moving through all the daily gifts of health and abundance and love that is present but for our seeing, acknowledging, and taking. Let it be so, and so it is.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. Sheriffs on the land and soil. Our sheriffs are the closest elected executive office for the people on their county, not the corporations acting as government when they are de facto, color of law. Government is not incorporated. Of course, the sheriffs act for corporations, but not to the detriment of the people. It is constitutional and unique on earth. Not since 1776 has there been another constitutional government where the people are sovereign and provided authority to the government. Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, page 589, published 1856, available on Amazon, printed in Troutdale. Unique in the written history of the third rock from the sun. Our sheriffs must have honor and provide the very best for us. Jure. De facto and de jure are not in the lawful correct constitutional law dictionary, Bouvier 1856. Sheriffs have always been on the land and soil jurisdiction of men and women on Oregon. Since 1910, the deception of Article 7 amended, it diminished. We removed the deception November 2022. I'm sure that there are those that can research how Article 7 worked from 1910 to 1925. Of course, the 38 prosecutors on Oregon have acquiesced, and so have the 36 sheriffs. The prosecutors are all members of the bar and de facto, just like Article 7 amended. A proper oath corrects the paperwork. Article 7 amended, which is a double down on Amendment 13. That amendment, Titles of Nobility, was hidden by Matthew Deedy in his law books of Oregon, found in all Oregon law libraries. Look at the results. We have had a benevolent form of martial law since 1861, de facto, with the military in charge since Grant. Lieber Code. It turned malevolent for sure with COVID. I looked that up, and even more, the deception is wide, long, and deep. Once you recover from cognitive dissonance, you may go on as we did, seeking more truth and solutions as we did, or just go flat out evil and worship Satan. There are other options available. Our sheriffs will be the proper occupant of the office of sheriff on Oregon this year, 2025. The Oregon Bar Association is a criminal organization as defined by our lawful, legitimate constitutions. The American Bar Association and the British Accreditation Registry are anti-constitutional circa 1859. That is the last lawful iteration of our constitutions. That originals and true copies have not been available from our Office of Secretary of State since 2016 until now. Anyone that requests a viewing of our statehood documents is denied. We have attempted a viewing several times with 5 secretaries of state and 3 deputy secretaries of state. We failed to view our statehood documents. So does everyone, so does everyone else. Try it for yourself. That should not be. That is a due process violation. There is a due process in constitutional Article 4, Section 4 form of government. It is not a choice, it is guaranteed. Our sheriffs and the Oregon State Bar have conspired to deceive us for 115 years, no more. There will be a proper sheriff on Oregon. Those that cannot qualify, certify, obligate themselves and their deputies to the requirements will not occupy the office of sheriff on Oregon. Remember Athens, Tennessee, 1946. They even made a movie on it. That's an option also. We knew things in general. We were still the best country in the world. I knew it when I was a kid. When World War II with the Japan ended on my birthday, August 14th, 1945, I was 7. We are who we were when we were 9 years old. That is really accurate. Therefore, many that were 9, when you were brainwashed with MK Ultra and beyond, may never recover. I was deceived until 2014. Many that took the COVID jabs will die or become incapable of self-control and require assistance to survive. I'm told 2025 starts the die-off. I have lost friends and family. High-altitude aerosol spray. Chemtrails may be, are, have been, always have been extremely dangerous and may or may not stop. We know a lot, and it has been promised to shut down. Military are being invited back by the DOD de facto. There may be another pandemic. We are no longer deceived. How are you doing? I recovered from the deception in 2014. It wasn't overnight. It became more difficult to maintain the illness after Florida's hanging chads. Then 9/11, and so it goes. Once the bell is rung, there is no unringing the bell. Big Mike is a real problem. Look what happened to that female comedian. He's gay and she's a tranny, and she was dead in 2 weeks. Kate is responsible for the murder of Robert Lavoy Finicum. Then the legislature voted amnesty for all the shooters, killers, murderers from the FBI and the Oregon State Police. There is no way to treaty with evil. Make mistakes, make errors, false assumptions that can all be corrected. Evil is no. God will have to forgive that. Every shot fired into Lavoy's truck was attempted murder. We made our choices in our assembly 6.8 years ago. Sheriffs will comply with ORS 206, our proper constitutions, county HR and regulations, DPSST, and the laws of nature and nature's God included. Think about it. There are over 3,000 sheriffs, and you have been fortunate enough to be on the bleeding edge of a return to a constitutional Republican form of government this year. Yahoo. Talk about a daunting task. The United States of Washington District of Columbia, Inc., in some form, starting with March 1861, they all know it, white hat or black hat. They all have different color hats and they change them. We see it all the time. The truth is, read to them in the military and say Lieutenant Colonel at War College. When you're made a judge or when you are elected to a certain level, they all know and they like it. We are the key. Article 1, Section 1. Look it up again. If Cynthia was here, she'd read it for me. And here we are, www.orsja.org, returning to a proper constitutional Republican form of government on Oregon. If the sheriffs do not move from de facto to de jure, we will take another step. An option is the U.S. Marine Corps is not party to the U.S. Army in the Lieber Code, but they answer directly to the Commander-in-Chief, Donald John Trump. He talks the chalk, we'll see. I'd like to see a battalion of United States Marines on Oregon, taking care of domestic enemies located in Salem and about the state. If our sheriffs remain de facto, I'll look forward to them. We know they do not want to come. We are in communication with the staff of the Office of Commandant of the Marine Corps on a first name basis. Whatever happens, the bell is rung. The de facto cannot stand the scrutiny. And I yield.
Hi, my name is Charlie White. I'm with the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I'm speaking to the sheriffs, one and all. The ball is in your court. We kicked it into your jurisdiction, which is separate from ours, unfortunately. It really is one team. It really should be one jurisdiction, you and us, sheriffs and the people. It is, or rather should be, one jurisdiction, but your training, probably from childhood, from mass public perception, has been to join the realm of the corporate jurisdiction, which is the entity that pays you to do what you do and has for the last over 100 years. You can join our team, that of the people, with a simple turn of a mind switch. A tool to assist in this process is to consider taking a proper oath and all that it means to the proper constitution with its original jurisdiction and with the laws of nature and of nature's God as stated in our unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, still alive and well, unfortunately misunderstood and often ignored. The last several months we have posted and made publicly available what we consider a proper oath for the persons in our governance. Sheriffs are our first effort at insisting on a proper oath, for it is the sheriffs who are in their county position to protect and defend the people from ticketing or sending people to the illegitimate amended Article 7 courts that should not be. From governance overreach and taxation that takes seniors' equity, their forever home, and all they possess by enforcing conviction. It takes a shift in the mind. It is the recognition of one's allegiance to life and that which is God-given, rather than criminalizing living God-made beings from a dead corporate entity. Our sheriffs are our first protection against governance overreach. Please take a solemn oath. It's needed for there to be remedy in our authoritative system of governance. Once a sheriff cognizes the importance of the proper oath, they can see themselves as truly one of the people, rather than as a corporate entity meant to enforce our compliance to the bidding of the state. Therein is offered greater freedom, cooperation, and peace in all our dealings with the people, the public, and our governance. Let it be so.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, "Just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me." And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.